Round 18 of the 2010 ARLA Elite Series campaign took place at the Appleton Speedway as the headline event of their annual Fright Night, a series of races taking place on the Friday night before Halloween. Jason Bates won the pole in his number 51 Carlink Revolution. He's third in points coming into this race, and the pole pays a 5-point bonus, so that's going to be a very good boost for him. However, shortly after the race started, Cody Richards in his part-time number 53 car took the lead away from Bates. Oh, you see a little contact between Anthony Griffith and somebody. And that somebody was Henrietta Laverne III in the number 00 Gasnier Dragoon for Gravity Racing Inc. Andy Pearson, your points leader in the number 2 Smash Beer Gold STS this week, causes the first caution on the second lap. Pearson appears to have a mechanical problem. He got a bit out of shape trying to get onto the apron. He tries it again going into turn 3, but he slides up into Olivier Martinez, causing a small pile-up in turn 3 involving Martinez. Lucas Hunter, Yafali Anamiha, Alex Carson, Todd Stater, Gary D'Souza, and Joseph Howard. Andy Pearson, who is fighting for his 5th championship, is not doing himself any favors by going out of the race on lap 2 and taking several other cars with him. He also nearly took out Bobby Porteau, who is currently 2nd in points. I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy with Pearson after this. Cody Richards leads on the restart. In fact, he gets a big start over Philip Borland in the 99. Jason Bates still runs 3rd, and that is Amy Harrison in the number 102 Corvette running 4th. Richards, Borland, and Harrison are all pretty underrated drivers in this series. They have all had some very strong runs in the past, but not a whole lot of luck. We now switch our focus to Amy Harrison a couple laps later. Here she is going for the lead, coming down the back straightaway. I mentioned last week at Blue Ridge that Motor Assault Racing wants her back in that 102, and now she's putting on a great performance for them now that she has some job security. And behind the 102, Eric Jackson in the number 3 Gasnier makes it 3 wide on Taylor Brillin and Cody Richards. This is Mike Andrews in car number 500 making his first start of the year. There you see James West in the number 69 leading. Andrews drives for Tyrone Stanley's team in the TM Junior Series, and he is running part-time in ARLA this year. He is the only African-American driver in the field. And now he finds himself being freight-trained by the rest of the pack. Kurt Walker and Philip Borland go 3 wide for the lead, with Walker winning out. James West got shuffled back a few laps later and found himself being caught up in the 2nd yellow on lap 13. Jared Anderson tagged Philip Borland coming off of turn 4, and West gets collected, and then several other drivers pile in. Rip Tyler in the number 555 JD Predator clobbers West, collecting Ricky Navarro, Scott Morales, and Bobby Porteau. Yafali Anamiha and Alex Carson also pile in, apparently forgetting to use the brakes. Joseph Howard in the number 17 CM displays some common sense and actually tries to avoid the wreck. Kurt Walker in his number 98 Mumoto gets a very big restart over Jason Bates, just like Cody Richards on the previous caution. However, the officials actually handed him a warning for jumping the restart, which I don't understand since Cody Richards got about as big of a start as Walker did. Here is Dale Underwood having another good run after his win at Blue Ridge last week, and Anthony Griffith pulls right up in front of the 03. They take several cars into the wall with them. Jason Bates, Mike Andrews, Jared Anderson, Harry Enola, a few others. Here comes Joseph Howard. He runs into the back of the 03. Apparently he couldn't avoid this wreck. Oh boy, Anthony Griffith, who was coming out of the pits, apparently was not paying attention to oncoming traffic. Pulls right up into the 03, taking several cars into the wall. Yeah, Harry Nola, Namimura got a piece of that. Bobby Porteau goes sliding up the track. Jared Anderson goes for a roll after being hit by James West, and then West gets hit by Jason Bates. That's going to take Bates out of the race. So your top 3 are all having problems today, just like they did at Blue Ridge last week. Here is the aerial shot. Apparently Griffith's spotter was out getting donuts or something. Taylor Brillin, Eric Jackson, and Packer Carroll got a piece of that. Shane Lake in the number 155 Lennard does a good job of avoiding that by driving on the apron. Underwood was furious with Griffith, and the officials were none too pleased with him either. They wasted no time in calling Griffith to the hauler. Kurt Walker continues to lead on the restart, though this time he doesn't get as big of a restart. Rounding out your top 5 are Kevin Monroe, Cody Richards, DJ Daniels, and Ricky Flush. However, the fourth caution flew shortly afterwards. Leslie Riggs in the number 50 Tremwell gets run over by her sister Allie coming off of turn 2. Allie had a much better run coming off of the corner, and she used that momentum to run over her sister. I know as an analyst I'm not supposed to be very critical, but that's what basically happened. Here we have the onboard shot from the 19. Leslie slides up the track, and Allie just doesn't acknowledge her presence. Leslie Riggs was clearly furious over her radio, probably the most anger she's ever shown, and I'm willing to bet that Allie lost a good chunk of her male fan base with that move, but that's a story for another day. About half of the field used this opportunity to make their pit stops while everyone else stayed out. Kurt Walker continued to lead on the restart, with Legro in the Zenith right behind him. Kevin Monroe is in third, while Amy Harrison continues to run up inside the top 10. Ricky Navarro, after getting caught up in that second incident, is running a lap down. However, he is not making a nuisance of himself. In fact, he is at the same pace as the leaders. There you see Packer Carroll and Bernie Fellows in front of him. They have gotten caught up in accidents earlier tonight, but they are still on the lead lap. Shane Lake also has a bit of damage from an earlier incident, but he is still running up inside the top 10. He is having another very good run tonight. Lake has recorded top 10 finishes in the last 2 races, and he's certainly doing a good job of keeping up that momentum. Here is Bernie Fellows in the 188. I mentioned him a few seconds ago, but now it's time to give him a proper shout out. Fellows is running part-time, just like Cody Richards and Mike Andrews, and he is having a very good run tonight, just like several of his fellow underdogs. In fact, he is leading in this shot with Philip Borland right behind him. A few laps later, Kurt Walker took the lead back, and now we are riding on board with Packer Carroll in the 71. Here he comes down the back straightaway for the lead. But going into turn 3, Kurt Walker is going to throw the block. Still, Carroll is not doing a bad job for a guy who got banged up in an earlier incident. Caution 5 flew in lap 41. Apparently we've got another guy who forgot how to merge properly. Cedric Dejau pulls right up in front of Kevin Monroe in the 63, sending him spinning, and he gets clobbered by Nami Mura in the 39. And here comes Anthony Griffith. He smashes into the 39. Leslie Riggs and Amy Harrison also got a piece of that. Here is Leslie Riggs. She actually blew her engine coming off of turn 2 and pulls to the inside like any reasonable driver should. However, she's carrying a little too much speed on the apron, and after clipping Bobby Porteau, slides up into Amy Harrison, sending them both for a ride. There's Griffith and Mura. Here we are riding on board with Dale Underwood, who also got caught up in this mess. And he slams into the back of Amy Harrison and then gets hit by Lucas Hunter in the 01. This is going to take Mura, Riggs, Underwood, Harrison, and Hunter out of the race. Now here's the aerial shot of Dejau pulling right up into oncoming traffic. He then holds up Taylor Brillin, costing her a few spots. Where is his spotter? And even without a spotter, I think he should know to watch for oncoming traffic. The officials called Dejau to the hauler. Under that yellow, everyone who did not pit on the previous caution came in. Cody Richards led on the restart in the 53 with Rybert Scott right behind him. Richards gets another big restart, but the officials still aren't saying anything about it. Richards has gotten a jump twice, while Walker jumped once and was chewed out for it. So I really don't know what the officials are thinking there. Rybert Scott, in only his second start in that number 33 for Evans Motorsports, is running up inside the top 10. He also got a top 10 in his debut at Watkins Glen. So that team has been very fast right out of the box. Here comes Allie Riggs challenging the 33 for position. She's giving a relative stranger a lot more respect than she gave her sister. Jeb Klinger is now taking the lead in his M&J SAR. He's had some very strong runs with that team in his final year of ARLA Elite Series competition. He's retiring at the end of the season to go host his own racing talk show here on OEN. He hasn't actually told us what it will be called, but we're looking forward to it.